Hello friends, family and other creatures of the sea, and welcome back to a new high-level best of 3. Today we have Calazur versus Creator in an epic Terran versus PROTOSS, or hopefully an epic Terran versus PROTOSS. What do we see here? Calazur opening up with an SCV scout, but this is not a scout for a scout. This is this scout has more to do than figure out what's kicking off. It's here to build an eBay as well. Not sure if Creator is going to allow that though. Send a probe down. Okay, eBay will go down. Probe's gonna come back downstairs. Spot this relatively early. It's been building for 8-9 seconds. Let's take a look at the response here. 3 more workers are being pulled off the line. 4 more, 5 more. No, 4 more workers off the line. This bad boy is going to be building a cybernetics core. eBay will eventually fall. A pretty decent response here out of Creator, who probably won't even... Okay, we'll need to build a pylon before Nexus, but still a fairly quick Nexus. He's going to be okay with this start. Alright, this is not that bad. His opponent is going to be delayed a little bit as well. In their command center, Calazur lost a lot of money getting this SCV out early on the map, lacking mining, and could have been doing something cool with his life. Instead it was building an eBay. Instead of building something himself, went for ruining someone else's structure. Hate to see that stuff. I see a reactor here. Reactor factory second depot. This was a gas first as well, which allows for the very fast factory. Curious to see what the Creator's plans are. Warp gate, adapt. And now we're gonna see if this is going to be some type of Hellion, fast starport, or maybe a cyclone. Okay, it's going to be a quick cyclone here. Quick cyclone, single gas. Whenever I see these quick cyclone builds, it always feels to me like a fast starport is, it's not really in the cards anymore. I guess you can still get it, but it's not that fast. Because the main reason why you want that fast factory is going to be for the cyclone. Hope you can clear this adapt, but 90% of the time I don't think you're actually going to get it. So kind of shocked by it to always see this. So let's see. Calazur is about to finish this thing up. Doesn't get spotted though. I think that shade got cancelled a little bit too fast. Battery goes down. Twilight Council is here as well. Second gas. Starport. Mew disappears off the face of the earth. There you go, Wally. Actually, what was first? Wally or a Mew? I feel like Wally got released after StarCraft 2, but I could be wrong about that. I only watched Wally recently. I remember there being a big buzz about it. I watched Wally like 2 years ago or so. Irene couldn't believe that I hadn't seen Wally, and she forced me to watch Wally. Usually when Irene forces me to watch movies, I get a little bit upset, because the movies tend to not be great. But Wally was very fun. I really would recommend that. It's a good animated film. Absolutely. Made me feel things. Yeah. Neat movie. I feel like a lot of animated movies, like Disney or Pixar films, aren't actually that good. Kind of overrated. A lot of the time there's some major nostalgia going on as well. And very often when Irene or I try to... Irene is my wife, by the way, for people that don't know. We show each other a movie because, I liked this when I was young. And then we watch it and then both of us are kind of like, well, this wasn't it. But Wall-E, yeah. Absolutely enjoyed that. How did I get there? Right, mules. Okay. Follow-up here is going to be, I hope, a Raven, not Banshees. I think Banshees are no bueno, honestly, in this matchup. I think they're not very valuable as a unit to have. Creator completely out of position. Here comes the triple mine drop. I hope to see 1 mine here, 2 in the main. I think that is the optimal solution. Good burrow on burrow micro coming out of Calazur. Blink still 11 seconds away. Does he get to lift this mine and re-burrow? Yes, this bad boy does get to burrow. He's going to lose this, but he will force... I think? No, he's not going to force another worker pool away. That sucks. I would have loved to see the active mine still being dropped. That was not the case. Instead, what we're seeing here for Calazur is a second barracks. Going to move over onto this thing. We have a third base out of Creator. I think Creator might have wanted to try something along the lines of maybe like a fast prism build, but there's no prism. Doesn't have that many stalkers, and now is opting for a timely robotics bay, I would say. That's absolutely at a decent timing, that robo bay, yeah. I can live with that for sure. Observer makes its way across the map as well here. Let's see what it's up to. And this is a key moment here where the Observer and the Raven meet. And these guys aren't friends. And I think the Raven is gonna get it. I'm not sure if that was in position. Yes, it was. Auto turret's gonna get it. So you need to position it right under the Observer. And I think they can be like 1 hex away or 2 hexes away. And then you still will get the kill on the Observer with the auto turret. So that was extremely close. Was about to fly out of range for that last shot. Creator here now moving around with his adept. I think was trying to find this Raven. Will not find it. Cyclone's going to end up falling. That's a free pickoff. Creator at 50 workers. Calazur, 47. Oh, this probe. It's going to spot the Raven. That's a pretty big deal because a battery wasn't actually in position to defend everything. Now you can just send units in position to deal with it. At the same time, double mine drop actually is hitting the main. We're going to get another reburrow as well. 1, 2 workers, 3 workers died against this Raven. Or 2 workers against the Raven and 1 observer. That's the total kill count there. So this is going to get cleaned up as well. Creator losing a little bit of mining time. Does he have the first Colossus out already? No, he doesn't. It is on the way though. It absolutely is on the way. And at the same time, Calazur is popping off here with a double drop heading around. Is the goal to go towards the main or is the goal to sneakily go towards the fort base location, unload and see if we can deal some damage at the third? That is a possibility. See, Creator, he's fishing right now. This is a fishing expedition. He's trying to figure out where these medevacs are coming out. This adept did scout the medevacs on the minimap. I'm not sure if Creator saw it though. I don't think he did. Creator now is planning on blinking in. That would be a wild move. I do not appreciate this. I think this is generally a very risky, another worthwhile move. Loads of stim units available. This attack does get stopped by the Colossus in position, as the tank here should get picked up. Medevac almost gets targeted down. Missed target fire there. Will clear. Oh my god. Well, the Medevac and the tank in the end, so this was probably worth it here for Creator in the end. But that was a close battle, honestly. Creator's going to push this away. We're going to need Stalkers in the main. Yes, Stalkers in the main are available. I think this is one of the things that if you see the difference between PROTOSS players from Korea and PROTOSS players from Europe, is that I always feel like Korean PROTOSS players 90% of the time have units ready, where a drop potentially could go. And I think European tosses are a little bit less good at that, because European Terrans are a little bit less good at the multitasking generally. So we almost always see Korean tosses be ready for European drops. That's absolutely the case. As this is a pure marine drop, and that means that a Colossus by itself would be capable of destroying this. Medevacs are kind of stuck in between a rock and a hard place. So we have a beautiful rotation here coming towards, I think this is the natural base that it's coming to. Medevac's going to be sent back, baiting out a blink in. It's like, hey, do you have anything there? No, you don't. Here comes a stim forward. He's going to take out this pylon and perhaps the robotics facility as well. This Immortal will never see the light of day. Sentries with force fields will take out a couple of these bio units as the mines are not going to connect with the Stalkers. Stalkers blink away in time. Triple Medevacs here. It's kind of idling around. This army is going to clear the pylon. 2 more Vikings coming out right now. Or 2 more. I think these are the first 2 actually. Yeah, first 2 Vikings. It's going to be 2 Vikings against 3 Colossus. Fort base is up. This is feeling quite good here for Creator. Creator, for the first time in this game, could potentially be thinking about moving on the map as well. He already has 7 gateways with 3 more on the way. 2nd robotics facility, Templar archives. The only thing we're truly lacking is a prism. I guess losing that robotics facility kind of ruined the potential push out. Because, let's face it, Creator here could have pushed pre-Ghost, pre-serious Viking count with only a single tank as a defensive tool. And Terran can't really survive like that. I don't think it's possible. Medevac count also isn't looking brilliant, by the way. This is a heavy Marauder force, which means that every stim is going to cost 20 health per Marauder, and that's a lot of health. 4 Medevacs are simply not going to be good enough to deal with that. As these Stalkers moving forward will take out 1 or 2 Marauders, but also loses a bunch, takes out 1 Viking. I think that's minus 5 Stalkers. Killed maybe 2 Marauders, 2 Marines, and a Viking. Not sure how worthwhile that is. Fort CC now gets thrown down as +2 attack. It's halfway done as well. For, yeah, 2nd starport. 5th base coming in for Creator. Creator has good vision, but is lacking a little bit in the area where it's going to matter the most, and that's the area where Kalazur is going right now. Creator perhaps could launch a base trade, as these two zealots will intercept this army, or perhaps this army will intercept the zealots, but a scout it is nonetheless. Here we see Creator trying to bait out maybe a stim. He's gonna get that stim that he wanted, as the Vikings are gonna get taken out pre-fight. Let's see how Kalazur is going to respond to this. What will he say? He's gonna come back home, which I don't entirely believe to be the right call. You're gonna lose a lot of SCVs. I think a base trade was the only viable option here. Both players were on the opposite ends of the map. In that case, the player that goes back home usually is so far behind in worker count and eco afterwards that he needs to seriously win a fight. Like, very convincingly. Just barely winning a fight isn't going to be good enough. And that's what we see here. We now have 3k mineral income, 1k gas income for Creator, who's maxed out on 10 gateways. How many robos do we have? We have only 1 robo. Kalazur needs a fight, and he needs a freaking good fight. He needs the best fight humanly possible. He needs a fight, my dear friends, that we will talk about generations from now. And I don't quite see it happen, because his army isn't really equipped to deal with his opponent's army. Doesn't have enough EMPs, doesn't have enough Vikings either. It's 3 Colossus against 4 Vikings. We're gonna get a semi-recall. 2 Colossus will get taken out before the fight really starts. I think that was a mistake. I almost feel like Creator could have just turned around and fought that. Now he's going to get his base cancelled. Kalazur is building workers, is morphing this base into an orbital as well. Going to boost his income at least a little bit. Every stim still does hurt. Look at that. Lots of yellow units already in here. Those marauders, they're hurt. 1 more stim, they're going to be orange. 1 more stim, they're going to be red. Let's go. Here comes the stim. Oh! Big fat disruptor shot there in the middle of the pack. It crashes in, and 2 more coming in as Kalazur gets blasted. GG gets called. That will be game number 1. And that, my dear friends, brings us to game number 2. In which we see a more standard approach here out of Kalazur. What are you doing, buddy? Oh. You know, this is a move that the Terran players at 5.5k MMR, which is like low Grandmaster, figured out years ago. They've been doing this since 2016, alright? That whenever they got blocked and they were annoyed, they would build it off position rather than running around with that SCV for another 15 seconds trying to get it in the perfect spot. Like, it's much faster to just fly it over. And it took the high-level Terrans a very long time to figure that out. I think there are a couple of things in the history of StarCraft where lower-level players figured something out before higher-level players. And all of those times that I can remember, it was Terrans. The same was the case with eBay Block, where you had these guys, and when I say lower level players, I still mean Grandmasters, but low Grandmaster players, or like mid Grandmaster players, rather than the tip-top gamers. They had some different builders. The gas-first eBay Block was something that a player called Ziggy did practically every single game for years, and no one copied it, until all of a sudden Beyond came back from the military, and people were like, oh my god. Gas first eBay Block? Is that what Beyond did when he came back? That looks sick. Let's do the same thing. Man, Beyond is a genius. Freaking Ziggy sitting there, having 5,000 replays of this particular build. Dating all the way back to like early Legacy of the Void, I'm pretty sure. It's truly unbelievable. And it's the same with the building the orbital or the command center out of position. Oh, Kalazur! Yes, son of a gun. Letting it in. It's gonna kill it. At the same time, it's also killing workers here, so in the end a good trade. Because he kills the Adept, loses 1 SCV, kills 2 workers. Heart of the deal right there for you. Also didn't get his command center scouted. So, really heart of the deal for you. This is as good as it's going to get for him. As we have a second gas coming up. 2 more barracks. Tanks will be out. I love this build order, honestly, out of Kalazur. I think this is such a good build order. Because you're going to have tanks in case of like a serious, dedicated, committed 3-gate blink. But you're also going to have pretty good eco in that case. And if someone goes for 4 gas before third base, you have that very good eco as well. So these are the most common responses, or the most common openers, are these 4 gas into third nexus out of toss, or just these 3 gate pressures. These are extremely common right now in the meta game. And I honestly believe that, this is great against it. I love the way that he's kind of creating a semi-wall as well here. Like, you put a tank over here, you blink in, what you're gonna do, you know? It's going to be rough. So he's really preparing for... Ooh, needs to be a little bit further down, to be honest. But yeah, what you... Like, a 4-gate or 3-gate blink here isn't going to achieve anything, or shouldn't really achieve a whole lot. We have this Prism going to fly across the map, followed up by a Templar Archives. Alright. This is a typical creator build, as Kalazur a little bit supply block. That is sloppy. Hasn't started his stim, hasn't started his combat shield yet either. He's going into 4 gas, double E-base. Gonna get that stim here first, then the combat shield. I'm honestly expecting a starport at some point as well. If you have double bunkers on the low ground, 44 workers to 45. What is the stalker count going to be here? We have 8 stalkers out, 4 of them in a prism. Third base on the way. I mean, the upgrade advantage for Kalazur here is going to be something else. This tank is not quite in position to deal with something heading towards his mineral line, so it probably should move into that direction a little bit further back at this point, because 3 or 4 gate blink is unlikely. You have the Cyclone in the right spot, but the Stalker, of course, kill the Cyclone. Yeah, tank a little bit too far away. Marine's trying to move in forward, will not quite get the kill. ICV's just idling here, that's sloppy. It's very sloppy, and 30C can be flying over at this point. Can definitely start flying over. Kalazur, of course, with very little info, though. Doesn't know what he's fighting against. It's hard to know what you're fighting against, it really is. Turret going down, won't be ready before this pops in, though, and this turret is going to get cancelled here. I can't imagine Creator letting it... Okay, he's going to let it survive. I think that would have been an easy target here to take out, but Creator says no. We have Immortals coming in. We're only on 3 gates. Usually you see gates and then Immortals. We're seeing Immortals and then gates here. Creator has spotted the fast third base. I'm kind of shocked by that. To me, it seems like gates would have the priority. I'm gonna shoot this. No, still not gonna shoot it. I feel like this turret could have been taken out like 4 times in this game already. It's not going to be the target, though. 6 workers have fallen. 5 just in the past half minute or so. Supplies surprisingly even, but the supplies aren't really the thing that matters most. The thing that matters most at this point are the upgrades. And the upgrades for Creator are non-existent. And the upgrades for Kalazur are very existent. Oh, they exist, don't they? Oh, yo, there's no atheists when it comes to these double eBays, my dear friends. No agnostic eBayers, let me tell you that much. No, we all believe in that. 1-1 upgrades versus 0-0. Armory got knocked down, knocked out of there the moment Kalazur realized his 1-1 was about to finish up. So he's going to be capable of starting 2-2 the moment his 1-1 finishes. Might want to get a couple of ghosts first, though, and he's lacking gas overall. Once again, a big fat supply block out of him, which is really weird, because so far nothing has been happening. He's going to scan, sees the lack of a 4th base at least. Now probably knows that the 3rd base is over here. Creator extremely all in. Creator here... Where's the Templar? Where are the Templar? They're in the prison. We have 4 Templar in a prison. We have 1-1 upgrades. I'd love to see some Ghost here. Oh boy, I'd love to see some Ghost. Kalazur completely out of position with, well, majority of his army, honestly. And here we go. This is a fake Archon now coming in. Kalazur needs to stim. So we have the mine. Retarget is perfect, as the prism will fall with 3 Templars inside of it. Tanks will end up dying, but it's still a 1-1 army against a 0-0 army. 2 Ghosts are about to come out. A single Storm remains. New Prism on the way out as well, as 4 more Templar do end up getting warped in. But don't forget that there's a massive timer here on Creator. A huge timer on Creator. And the question is going to be, can Kalazur survive? Kalazur doesn't... Wait, what? Doesn't understand his position whatsoever here. Thinking of moving out, building a 4th CC, my friend... All you need to do is not die for the next, 25 seconds, and you're going to be golden. The moment these Ghosts enter the field, you're going to be in a great spot. First EMP, will it connect? Yes, it's going to connect, but not with all those Templars. That was a sweet pickup there, as 2 more Storms are going to blanket this army. Kalazur in a little bit of trouble here. Still has those superior upgrades, as 2-2 is halfway done. I mean, the moment 2-2 finishes up, these fights are going to be looking fairly one-sided. Medevac count, however, is low, and we have been overstimming just a tiny tad. Here come some Stalkers, looking maybe to clear a Marauder or 2, trying to force out a stim. +1 now starts for Creator, but that's not going to make a dent in a package of butter, because +1 attack versus 2-2 is simply just not going to be good enough. If you're still down 3 upgrades, you're going to need something better. At least a second forge in here. That's not what we're seeing. Is that we are seeing a Robo Bay and second robotics facility. Fourth base is finishing about as fast for Kalazur as it is for our good friend Creator. Creator trying to move in. This army is overstimmed. Kalazur needs to really calm down with the stims. He's stimming entire portions, like just entire armies, not just portions. Entire armies with a low medevac count. And we saw that last game as well, where a lot of his units are just in the red or in the orange or in the yellow, when they really shouldn't be. 2-2 has finished. I'd love for +3 attack at least to start instantly. That could be a very big deal, because the main advantage he has right now is the upgrade lead. And if you have a lead somewhere, then you kind of want to hold on to that. At the moment, he's up 4 upgrades. Soon that's going to be just a single one. I'm waiting for that. Dark Shrine before second forge is an insane call. That is not a good call. I don't think so. Creator probably isn't aware of the fact that his opponent is 2-2 already, but you need to catch up in these upgrades. That's a good storm. Holy crap. Oh, man. These units are so low. Kalazur wants to fight, but he can't because he's been overstimming. I think the plan here is simple. We go into, what, 8 barracks? We already have 8 barracks. Okay, then the plan is even simpler. We just throw down 17 command centers, a fusion core, and start ship weapons. Like, this should be unlosable here for Kalazur, but this army is so overstimmed. His medevacs, look at that. Dry, 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 dry. It's the Sahara Desert over here, my friends. Oh, Disruptor flank coming in as well. Scans his own army, thinking that there might be an observer, but no, Creator just knows where your army is. He doesn't need observers. He can smell it. Get a forward scan here. No Vikings in the army. Mines are going to settle down. Settle in. Get another EMP. Still 2-2 versus just +1. Don't forget that. These are maxed armies, and this should be a convincing victory here for Kalazur. Unless he gets hit by a Fat Disruptor in the face. Actually, more than just one Fat Disruptor in the face. It needs to be a couple of Fat Disruptors in the face, and perhaps also a Storm or 2 in there. We see Creator's just standing here. He's hanging out. Finally getting a second forge. Can he get a Storm? He can get a Storm on his army. Loses the 5th base, though. Disruptor's now moving forward. Kalazur still just moving back and forth. Look at this drop. Oh my god. Mine almost gets the connection, as here comes the Doom drop in towards the main base. +2 is going to get cancelled if Kalazur wants to, and I think he wants to. I think that should have been the priority here. Taking out that forge. Now, of course, the army of the opponent is going to be the priority. Still, taking out a forge is always a big deal. If that +2 does finish, that would be great here for Creator. And Creator is going to get it. Oh, yeah, I think he is. We're going to see a pickup here. It's too slow, though. Kalazur losing a lot of units. 3-3 is about to finish up. And that means that the 4 upgrade lead is going to continue on. For now, for a moment, it's just 2 upgrade difference. Just a 2 upgrade difference. And that's about to be 4 again. Kalazur, however, wants to continue fighting. All of his medevacs are dry again. And all of his units are in the orange and in the red. And this is the target fire. This is not good. 10 workers have fallen. Kalazur is ahead. Has a lot in the bank. Needs to start throwing down a serious set of command centers here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 command centers is what we want. We want to be taking planetaries. We want to be adding extra stuff. We want the fusion core. We need ship weapons upgrade. Extra eBay upgrades. There's plenty of cash, but we're not seeing this right now. We don't even have a second starport yet. It's only going to get thrown down at this point, as well as the fusion core. We are finally going to get it. Medevacs are still completely dry. At this point, I almost say that Caduceus Reactor is going to be the first upgrade that we want. Cloak on the way here as well. Gonna get some forward scans. I think he just stimmed a portion of his army preemptively already. Also, again, these Medevacs are so low. so low, and these units are in the yellow and the orange. And kind of a failed pickup here. This is not necessarily looking great here for Kalazur. I mean, I still think he's very far ahead, but he has been fumbling his lead just a little bit. He's now expanding on location to a different base. We're gonna just need way more orbitals. Because the moment you get like 6-7 orbitals, you can get rid of 30 workers, you know? You just can't get rid of those 30 workers. And that means your army is going to be that much bigger. Nothing left in the main base. Please snipe this +3. I think that really is the priority here, buddy. I'd love to see that +3 being taken out. That would be so big. Because the upgrade lead is massive. Instead we're just attacking gateways. And now we're gonna get it. That's good. Scan is still available. The Ts will end up falling. At the same time, Creator is pushing in forward. We're 15 minutes into the game. This command center can die. That's okay. That's no problem. Advanced ballistics not quite done yet. Yes, Kalazur is very keen on trying to defend this. Disruptors are connecting in a big way with the Marauder army. At the same time, this is going to end up getting cleaned up. 160 supply to 133. And 2-3 more Liberators do siege up. Orbital command will get cleared as well. 150 supply to 126. Kalazur is losing a lot of workers, but with an orbital count of, what, 5? No, 3. Wait, he only has 3? He only has 3. Well, might actually be kind of scary. And he's up in income. Creator. Wait, Creator is up in income. That's not good. Army composition-wise. No Ghost, but 8 Liberators. That's a serious amount of lips, you know. 2 of them are flying around. They get in position. That could be frustrating. They do have range, but this one's gonna end up dying before it gets anywhere, I think. Could blink forward. Not gonna do it, though. Not gonna do it. There's a couple of blink stalkers here. We'll end up catching this, I can only imagine. 2 more lips will show up, and I mean, you can just harass this base. There should be no issue whatsoever. I don't think... Can you defend this? I don't think so. You're gonna need air units to deal with that type of stuff. 2 more Liberators being sent out. Attacking into this is suicide, surely, no? Actually, not that big of an army, not that many Ghost EMPs going to connect. We have a blink forward. Mine might connect finally with Stalkers. No, it won't. Liberators, however, dealing a lot of damage. Not just to this army, but also to the economy of the opponent. And now we have 164 supply to 114 with Kalazur taking a commanding lead. Once more in this game. It has been upgrades that have been keeping him alive. And now it's also the Liberators that are keeping him alive. The bigger supply that's keeping him alive. And still the upgrades, because he's still up 3 upgrades at this point, which is honestly impressive. So hopefully going to be capable of finishing the game here. This is going to be the final push. GG gets called and Kalazur wins game number 2 and ties up the series. That was a good game, and so far this has honestly just been a good series altogether. I'm really not disappointed in the way both of these players have played so far. Creator is one of these guys that has a lot of different build orders, has a lot of different tricks, often with similar looking openers. I think that is just how he tends to play. And then he wants to go into... Once it's the mid or the early stages of the late game, that's when he kind of comes back to like a more kind of systematic approach to something similar to what he always does. But before that, he has a lot of different mid games he can play, you know? And he'll show the same to the opponent, and it can just divert it to many different pathways. And Terra needs to respond to that. Last game, I think Kalazur did get kind of lucky with the build order. The way that those worked out was phenomenal for him. And we saw a couple of mistakes there defending that initial push. You know, just having the entire army out of position and just overstimming a bit, moving out and getting that forward base, no bunkers whatsoever at the third, you know. But Kalazur still managed to survive, and then with the upgrade lead, you have so much map control, you have so much freedom. Basically every gate unit versus bio trade is going to be good. So Creator is solely relying on things like Storms, Disruptors, not so much Colossus because they don't really trade well against bio once there's like a heavy Marauder focus. And that's what we saw there. Heavy Marauder focus, a couple of Ghosts in the mix. Really late second starport. And once again, that overstimming. That's an issue that needs to be fixed here in this game. See a quick first Cyclone coming out. do hope that this SCV is going to survive. I think it will. Creator seemingly not having the balls there to commit. What is this? What are we watching? Is this a Dark Shrine? This feels like a DT rush. Oh, you monster. Oh, you monster. Hellion. Behind this? Okay, that makes sense. Because I can't. No starport yet. 3rd CC. Oh. So same type of build. The Hellion is kind of wild. Oh! Locked onto the wrong one. This one was later. He could have... I'm not sure if he could have killed it, but he could have gotten closer to killing it, which is always nice. So theoretically, DT builds are bad against triple CC. Because triple CC has... Most of the time, it's going to have a fast eBay or fast-ish eBay. As well as lots of scans available. Lots and lots of scans available. So... Oh, this is going to be close. Let's see what Kalazur can figure out there. So Hellion comes in, sees Adept, Robo, no second gate, which is weird. Sees one gate here. I mean, this is so suspicious, not seeing a second or a third gate and no Nexus. This is as clear as day to me. This is as clear as it can get, that something is proxied. Something needs to be proxied here. That's the only thing that makes sense right now. Right? You scout the complete lack of gates. No third base. Because he didn't get the scout on the gases. But even then, no second gate in the wall is crazy. That doesn't happen. That doesn't exist. If yeah. Creator believes he has been scouted. But Kalazur is happily muling here. Oh no. This is so unfortunate for Creator. Creator, I think, makes the theoretical correct play. But in practice, the wrong one. Because had he just sent in DTs, mules were just dropping the entire time. There was no saving of the mules. There is no eBay yet. Oh. I hope that this mule gets saved. No, it gets dropped instantly. This mule, perhaps we can save it. Because we have one DT coming in right now. Kalazur, are you seeing this? Are you seeing this? Yes, he does. He sees it. It's going to get the scan in. Clears the one DT. eBay goes down. Drop on top of the tank. That's not going to work. Kalazur is set up as well as he could have. Set up. And it's the exact same build order. Possibly with an even better outcome. I think this is a better start for Kalazur than last game was. This is as good as it's gonna get. The only thing that could ruin his party here is if this Archon plus DT drop starts dealing some serious damage. 2 DTs now coming in. We do have to scan. Gets the pickup. So that's minus 225 minerals there. Every scan is 225 minerals that you would receive over the next 64 seconds. Because that's what a mule manages to do. That's what a mule does. 2 more barracks on the way here. 83 supply to 71. 1-1 upgrades coming in. Gonna start sounding like a broken record here. With these upgrade leads here for Kalazur. And the problem right now for Creator is that he simply cannot afford a forge. I mean, he can afford a forge. The minerals are not going to be the issue. But look at this. Still needs to start thermal lens. Still needs to start a second Colossus. Ideally would have slightly more sentries as well than just the one. He's going to get a forge out. It's going to be tight. It's going to be tight with the gas here. That's for sure. Does not want to be in the same scenario as last game where he's consistently behind in the upgrades. We've seen Creator attempt 3 different builds so far, and 2 out of the 3 haven't really worked. It's gonna clear this turret, that is nice. It's going to get pushed back. I think in this type of scenario, building a Viking with your first medevac wave is actually worthwhile. Like, instead of going medevac, you go medevac Viking. Is there anything wrong with that? I don't think so. He already has 1 medevac build. Could have been a Viking as well as the first unit. I really wouldn't have minded that. Blink will finish up. We have Stim, we have Combat Shield. Kalazur now planning on moving out. As he supply block. 2 depots trying to finish up. It's a painful supply block, really. It's going to cost him a couple of SCVs. 2 SCVs. 2 SCVs per base, or almost 2 SCVs per base. Like 5-6 SCVs or so. That's a full supply block, maybe a bit more even. Tank almost gets sniped as well. +1 now finishes up. Is the armory instant? Yes, it is. Kalazur is tight with those timings, that's for sure. Very tight with those timings. Forward base is about to finish up. Creator, I'd say in a slightly better position this game than last time. And it's because he skipped his thermal lens to get that faster +1. He skipped out on a little bit of, you know, on an important upgrade. Because he believed Kalazur wasn't going to push out. And he made the correct read. Now it might even be time to get a 5th gas. To get a 2nd forge. Because, once again, 2-2 is about to start. And that might be a serious issue. Kalazur decides to move out here. This can't be an actual attack. And the reason why I say that is because the Ghost Academy just finished. +2 just started. So we're investing a lot of gas and a lot of money in things that right now aren't here yet with us. I'd love to see +2 start as well as a 4th base. We have a lot of cash in the bank. Goes for it. Thermal land's not done yet. Might be capable of doing something. Marines too far in the front. Need to be further in the back. Marauders need to be tanking here. Are not tanking at this moment. Mines are going to connect with a bunch of the Zealots. Super Battery is active. That means you can't engage into this right now. Marines need to be pulled back. +1 ground weapons on the way. About to finish up. I love this movement here out of Kalazur. Marines now in the back as the Marauders start tanking. Oh my god, he just elevators a Colossus to the low ground and flanks the Marines. What a beautiful move. I don't think I've seen a maneuver like that quite before. Kalazur now starts his Viking production. Has 6 gases already. You know what I would love to see, personally? 2nd starport. 2nd starport before the 8 racks. I don't think we're going to get it. But I believe this to be not a bad call here. Kalazur once again finding these good rotations in which Creator not completely in position at times. This time though, Creator's main army at least will be in position. As 2 Vikings actually gonna get caught in the middle of the map. That's a big deal. He needs Vikings so badly. He needs the Vikings so badly. Oh, here we have the prison plus the Colossus. He's just going to kite this back. Good control out of Creator. Doesn't have the Stalkers to actually catch this army. Yeah, these Stalkers are just gonna die, no? Okay. Need to run away. We have a flank coming in. This is bad. This is not good movement here out of Creator. It's gonna lose a bunch of units. There's no boost available. So risky here. Out of Kalazur is going to have to pay the price. Loses 2 medevacs. And now it's Creator's turn to say, hello, what's up? Tanks are trying to run back home. It's 195 supply to 150. Viking count practically non-existent. We only have 3. Forward base is flying over. Needs to return. Yeah, you can't do that right now. That's going to need to wait. As the Vikings here defensively looking solid. Blink Stalkers move to the side. We have the 2 tanks. Would you attack into this? That's what I always ask myself when I look at a situation. I think the answer here is yes, I would attack into this. There's a lot of Immortals, extra firepower, not enough Vikings to deal with the Colossus and only 2 tanks. It's different if there's 6 tanks, but that's not the case here. Viking count isn't high enough, tank count isn't high enough. Yes, the upgrades for Kalazur are good, but his army simply too small. Colossus stays alive here with what? 4 HP. As these Immortals are blasting through the rest. GG gets called, and Creator will win this series with a 2-1 score after really a nice opener here for Kalazur. This supply block really hurt. That was painful. And then the push out, to me, felt incorrect. I think we should have moved into 2-2 upgrades quick. Maybe with a 2nd starport, maybe with 8 racks, but I feel like if you go for a double eBay play, then you kind of want to see it through until you have 2-2. And a 1-1 timing, it doesn't feel right to me very often. Not with this type of build order. But that is going to be it for me today. I hope you all did enjoy this. If you did, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Hopefully I'll see all of you next time for a new video. Thanks so much for watching, and bye-bye.